L'Afrique, terre d'opportunités.
Moi, je suis ravie de voir de belles initiatives comme ça qui accompagnent et incitent la jeunesse africaine à bouger. Parce qu'effectivement, aujourd'hui, rien ne se fera si on ne bouge pas nous-mêmes. Aujourd'hui, je pense qu'on est capable de faire de belles...
On a compris que la richesse aujourd'hui, elle se trouve en Afrique.
L'Afrique reste le continent de demain, reste un continent où il y a un développement économique quand même à 2 chiffres.
C'est mon destin. Et j'espère que tout Africain qui se trouve ici pense la même chose de son pays.
C'est très important lorsqu'on parle de développement. On ne peut pas aujourd'hui concevoir le développement de l'Afrique sans une unité des Africains.
Qui dit aucun de nous, en agissant seul, ne peut atteindre le succès. Donc agissons ensemble. Nous avons un fort potentiel que nous pouvons apporter à la jeunesse africaine, au développement de l'Afrique en général.
C'est presque une évidence. La jeunesse est une valeur.
The CEO of production managers, the program lead or coordinator, honorable members of the jury, the debaters, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Alassane Abdoulaye. I'm a PhD in comparative literature and professor of English at the Virtual University of Senegal. It's my pleasure as the director, the scientific and academic director of this program, the Think and Talk Debate Contest, to welcome you all on behalf of production managers and on behalf of my colleagues to participate to this special edition. First of all, before we go further, I would like to pay tribute to our late colleague, dear Abdul Kader Ba, who passed away a couple of months ago. Let us praise that great God, welcome him in his paradise, and may his soul rest in peace. Our late brother Ba was a giant. He has served this nation and he has trained generations. The proof is that over the last editions, he had always been committed to the training of debaters and to participating in the organization of this. So our deep thoughts go to our late brother today. May his soul rest in peace. I would like to thank again production managers for their choice upon my personality and their trust to come and chair this edition again, which is very particular. And let me acknowledge the importance and the collaboration of my colleagues, members of the jury, namely Dean Amin Sal, who is our brother, our dean. With a lot of humility, he has accepted to come and join us despite his busy calendar. I believe and I am convinced that the debaters will profit a lot from his experience as a trainer of their teachers. So be informed that you are lucky to be here with this great intellectual who is always available and ready to serve. Thank you, Dean Amin. I would like to acknowledge my other colleagues, Mr. Silla, who is not now here with us, but in distance working with us, and 2 new members, Mr. Iba Job Sisse from Université Gaston Berger and Mr. Numubari from the same institution, who are passionate debaters who have joined us this year. So I'm really glad to work with them, and I thank them for that. So the audience also thank you for your patience. I know this special edition is fully online, which is challenging in terms of connection. Sometimes there are technical problems, but let us really be very patient and do all our best to survive. For the debaters, I congratulate all those who participated last year. I congratulate the winners, and I encourage the losers to move to a higher degree of performance. This year is special. It is typically online. It may be challenging, but always understand that there is something specific that has made it happen. It is a pandemic. Over 1 year, we've been hit by this pandemic, and there has been a big obstacle, but technology is proving, and this is a reason why this year we have decided to do it online. So for the debaters, you are going to be opposed on a topic that you defend with a position either yes or no. So what are the evaluation criteria? Understand that you are evaluated on the basis of 4 main points. First, you have a topic, and the understanding of the topic is evaluated because you have done research and you are going to be heard by the jury. The way you develop, if you understand the topic, okay? And the second that is related is your argument, how you develop it with your rhetoric, your ideas, and your research, and your references, because you have done a lot of research. You should prove it here. The other thing, it is an element of the debate, it is rhetoric. Remember, this is a debate, it's not a reading, it's not a speech. And the last one is the language, the expression. You speak correct, formal, and academic English. It is a way also to improve your skills in this language that you should dominate. So mind mistakes, pronunciation, grammar issues, or everything. So the jury members are going to listen to you. So in terms of interventions, there are 7 overall. Number 1 is an introduction, and you have 5 minutes to do it. But the second intervention is an argument. The third intervention is an argument. The fourth intervention is an argument. The fifth intervention is an argument. The sixth intervention is an argument. And the last one, number 7, is a conclusion, 5 minutes. But understand that the arguments, the middle intervention is just 3 minutes. Respect them, please. After all, so each intervention is graded over 20. How are you scored? So there are 7 interventions. At the end, the jury members will meet and they calculate the total for each team. The total is divided into 7. Okay, it is divided by 7, and the average is found. The higher average is a winner. After that, members of the jury will identify the best debater. The best debater is identified through his or her performance during the debates. The one who has provoked positively an interesting debate, discussion, questions, analysis, and everything, the depth of your analysis. At the end, the jury will deliberate and give you this. So mind penalties. There are penalties. How would they occur? So it is a debate, so use your rhetoric. Avoid first, missing to respect the timing. If it is an introduction or conclusion, 5 minutes. If it is an argument, it's 3 minutes. So there is an indication. So if you have 30 minutes left, you should understand you have 30 seconds left, and you finish. Once the time is over and you've been informed that the time is over, do not insist. If you insist, you can be penalized. The other source of penalization is when you aggress somebody. Don't be aggressive. For example, saying it's not true, you are wrong, or destabilizing somebody. No, don't do that. If you do it, this is a source of penalty. So this is all. Once again, thank you so very much for your attention. I wish you all good luck, and let us remember that it is a competition, so fair play should be on the top of things. So everything is going to be organized very well and arbitrated fairly. So if there are issues, try to refer to your leaders, member of jury or CEO in order to arrange it or to find a fair arbitration and to avoid conflict. Thank you so very much once again. It's all my pleasure. Dr. Alassane Abdoulaye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was the inaugural speech of the academic and scientific director, Dr. Alassane Cha. And today we are happy again to meet with you this afternoon, to meet again with you this afternoon. And this is the second session of the 2000 China 1/3 edition of the Think and Talk contest. I am your host today, Aminata Sadi. I'm really very glad again to meet all of you this afternoon. I would say to meet you virtually and partake in this program, which is a competition that gathers several high schools across the country in the attempt of allowing them to voice out their opinions through the English language, test their spoken English, and strengthen their public speaking ability. As it was already mentioned in the opening session, this third edition is a bit special because it is a 100% digital competition, which is a result of the pandemic thrown in our way. And it is in that framework that the production managers took up the challenge and make it this year a digital one. And therefore, thanks to the online exchanging platform that I have started, pupils will be competing online, which is actually great because it allows them to be much more acquainted with some of the digital tools used now by the majority of their peers. So we are, yes, sorry, by the majority of their peers. So last time we started the contest, and despite the numerous technical hitches we had, it finally took place in a very cool way. And this is why it is called DYC, I need to mention, the Digital Youth Challenge, because there are lots of challenges that must be taken up for its realization. So today, again, we're hosting 4 schools. But before mentioning them and talking about the debated topics, allow me to introduce to you the honorable and distinguished members of the jury panel. First of all, we have Dean Amin Tal. He was not present at the last session, owing to his busy calendar, but he is this afternoon with us, and we're so glad for that. Thank you, Dean Amin. So we have Dean Amin Sal, and he is for this session, the jury president. We have Mr. Iqra and we have Mr. Mamadou Silla also. So I will give the floor before introducing the school to the jury president, Dean Amin Sal, to introduce himself and talk about the competition and his impressions, things like that, and also to the other members of the jury, I mean, Mr. Mamadou Silla and Mr. Iqra. So thank you, Dean Amin, for your presence this afternoon. I give you the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Aminata. So, thank you, Managers Production, for this wonderful initiative, which goes in line with the goals of education in general. And also thank you to the teams who made it, because we all know that we are embarked in a very challenging thing, having the competition online. But then you accepted, and you really accepted to take up the challenge and to participate. So to both teams, I would like to thank them and wish them good luck. Well, I will just to introduce myself. I am my name is Amin Sal. I am a teacher trainer at the Academy of Saint Louis. Teacher trainer with my specialty is English, so that it means that my role is to coach English teachers all over the Saint Louis region. So, though this is my regular job, but apart from that, I am very keen, very passionate about everything dealing with clubs, students' clubs, and so on. And this is maybe one of the reasons why I'm here tonight. I think that that's enough for me. I just maybe to add 2 words about myself. I graduated from Gaston Berger University, where I got a master's degree in English. Then I went to New York, to Columbia University, where I graduated in TESOL studies. So I think, Aminata, that's enough. I will give the floor maybe to the other jury members so that they introduce themselves. Mr. Silla.
Thank you, Dean Amin. Thank you. It was wonderful. Mr. Silla, are you online?
I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah. My colleague. Hi.
Hi, Amina. Thank you very much for giving me the floor. Thank you. My greetings to Mr. Amin and Managers Production. And I extend my greetings as well to all the schools that are here competing today. So I'm very glad once more to be here in this very interesting competition. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to attend the matches of the Digital Youth Challenge. So thank you very much. So my name is Mamadou Silla. My name is Mamadou Silla. I was a debater at Gaston Berger University some years ago. I debated both in French and English as well. And I was appointed as guest debater of the English department 2 years ago. And yeah, this is my third participation in Think and Talk. Well, so this one is very special because it's online, and I'm glad I'm able to participate because I'm not in the country anymore. So yeah, that's all. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I would add a great debater of our English department. Yeah. Yes. And I will introduce to you another great debater also, Mr. Iqra. Is he online?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, the great debater too. You have the floor.
So first and foremost, let me just thank the production manager, the speaker, and he will just try to do whatever is possible in order to make this thing happen. Because as we know, it is not that easy at this current situations with the pandemic and everything that happens. So we keep our head above the water in order to make it happen, in order to do the Think and Talks of 2021. So my name is Iqra. I'm a Master 2 student at Gaston Berger University, specialized in literature and civilization, and most importantly, in comparative literature and civilization. And I have also been once nominated as Best English Debater, and but I have been taken off by Silla, the great one, and it's always a pleasure to share the same table with him and also Amina. And I think today we do have something very important because the topic is very interesting. Definitely we have a big problem, but it does not matter. So I'm using you members of the teams, meaning those who represent the Iqra High School. Good luck for the contest, and hope that you're ready. So good luck. Good luck.
Thank you very much, the jury. it was words full of wonder, I will say. So today normally we have four, and we're hosting 4 schools, but unfortunately Galil High School withdrew, gave up at the last time. Maybe they have unexpected event that prevent them from playing this afternoon. Or also we have preschool. We are hosting preschools for this afternoon, and we have yes, we have the first 2 competing are Iqra Bilingual Academy versus Jules Sagna High School, and the debated topic is internet trading a strong strategy for the development of Africa. And Iqra Bilingual Academy will define the yes position, and Jules Sagna High School will be for the no position. And another, I want to specify something also. Marif, they are going to play because they prepared this match, and the jury decided to give them the opportunity to present their arguments. And maybe, yes, the 7 intervention, I mean the introduction, the 5 arguments, and their conclusions. And after they, maybe the jury will ask them questions in the attempt of to give them a grade. So they will, even if Galil High School, they gave up at the last time, they will play, but just they will present their arguments, and the jury will ask them a question after, and yes, and given they will be given a grade. So I think that we will start by Bilingual Academy with their introduction of 5 minutes. But before starting, I want you to know that you have 7 interventions, and which is divided as follows. You have the first intervention is an introduction of 5 minutes. The second and you have 5 arguments of 3 minutes and a conclusion of 5 minutes. And look at the screen of your laptop, and there will be a timekeeper. Yes, this is it. You will have a timekeeper to tell you the last 30 seconds of your intervention. And if your time is over, don't keep on arguing, okay? Stop your argument and give the floor to your opponent, right? And don't wait for me also to give you the floor. Look at the screen of your laptop and just go, because interventions are mentioned there, right? Okay. So before starting, I will give the floor to each of you. I will start by Iqra Bilingual Academy. Introduce yourself and your grade, and yes, just for 30 seconds, right? And then Jules Sagna, you're also going to introduce yourself, and then within 1 minute, we're going to start the competition. Okay, so Iqra Bilingual Academy, you have the floor.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisha Zakari. I am the president of the Student Body Council of Iqra Bilingual Academy, and I am here with my other teammates to debate for the argument that internal trade in Africa is a strong strategy and is a good strategy for the development of Africa. I also thank the jurors and also Managers Production for having us here. I would like for my teammates to introduce themselves as well.
My name is Shoaib Zakari. I am in the 9th grade of Iqra Bilingual Academy. And today, me and my other teammates shall debate for the topic that internal trade is a strong strategy for the development of Africa. And we hope to have a healthy and positive debate today.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. So my name is Sayyidatullah Yasin Aidara, and I'm in grade 10 from School Iqra Bilingual Academy. And my teammates and I are glad to and honored to be received in this contest. And our position is yes, internal trade is a strong strategy for the development of Africa.
Thank you. So I think that they always have problem with their mic, but we will start with the introduction of Iqra Bilingual Academy. You have 5 minutes for your introduction.
Okay, may I start now?
Yeah, go on. You have the floor.
Okay. Students of Iqra Bilingual Academy, we are for the notion that internal trade is a strong strategy and a very good strategy for the development of Africa. We believe that Africa has a spirit of making ends meet. We believe that we have this quality, this unique quality to do so. And free trade in Africa will not only help us make ends meet, but it will also help us step over beyond the boundaries of making ends meet as well. One of the first reasons why we believe so is because free trade in Africa will eventually help more movement between goods within the African continent. The African continent, according to statistics on the UN.org, shows that we only have 16% of trade within our own continent, whereas we are the second largest continent in the whole world. And we can see that this also helps this is not helping us at all, yet it helps the economies around the world as they are also trading within themselves, like the United States of America or Asia. And this is promoting more jobs and a lot more income for their people. And we believe that with the new incoming of the African Continental Free Trade Association, we believe that this will help us open borders and lay the grounds for a very, very good strategical plan for us to move on into this world, not just as a continent, but as human beings, and this will propel us to newer heights. Seda Idra will come in with some information.
Assalamu alaikum. So my name is Seda Idara, and I will be honored to give you some definitions of keywords from the topic as internal trade is strong strategy for the development of Africa, and some factual evidences about that strategy. So for the definitions, we have trade. So trade is a basic economic concept involving the buying and selling of goods and services. In other words, it's the exchange of goods and services between parties. Internal trade, we have internal trade. So internal trade is also known as domestic trade. And its definition, according to what I've understood, is that it's the buying and selling of goods and services within the confines of international boundaries of a nation. As another definition, we have development. So, development is simply the process of creating growth, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. In other words, it means that it can bring social and economic change that allows the people to achieve the human potential. So these were the definitions that we had, and for the factual evidences, I would like to say that internal trade is, of course, a strong strategy for the development of Africa because, as advantageous, it facilitates the exchange of goods and services with the country, and we can make sure that it will arrive where it has to go. And less, we have less We have less government interference, a simple currency, simplified trade procedure, no trading blocks, provides economical goods, and low transportation costs.
We would like Shoaib Zakari to put forth some of his ideals to this.
Okay, so for the topic that we have been given by the jury and manager's production, if I'm correct, is the if internal trade in Africa is a strong strategy for development. And yes, it is true, because there have been only 3 countries in Africa, naming Rwanda, Sudan, and Senegal, that over the years have that have oh, wait.
So thank you for the bright introduction. So you are going to start your intervention. I mean your argument of 3 minutes, right? Because Jules Sagna, they have serious problem with their connection. So go for your second intervention and maybe the third and yes. So go on.
Okay, so the first intervention that we're going to be, the second intervention that we're going to be talking about is how Africa harbors about 1.3 or 2.3 billion people in our continent. And if we combine all of our trade together, as the African Free Trade Association will do, we will be combining about $3.4 trillion of net worth within our entire continent, which means we're going to be pumping it all out for ourselves, for Africans, by Africans in Africa. We believe that this is a good strategy because the money and income will create more jobs and much more investment within Africa. Even if there's going to be international investment, and that those international companies will also be benefiting from it, this will also help Africans as well, because we will be having more jobs created and the money will be circulating within Africa. Now, take, for example, a country like Senegal trading with a country like Niger. We do have borders and we do have some barriers which are not supposed to be there. However, with this trade, if it is very well implemented, even though there are challenges, just like our juror, Mr. Iqra, has said, it doesn't matter, we must go on. We believe that Africans have the spirit to do so, and we do not say that this is going to make an effect immediately. However, in the long run, this will help us much better than for us to be exporting our raw materials outside of Africa and having them manufacture it, and then we eat our own goods that we're supposed to be having for ourselves. If we could have manufactured them for ourselves, or if we could have exported them as well. We do have a few countries within Africa that do manufacture goods. We can use those countries, and even though they're going to be benefiting, we're benefiting as well, because the economy will be open. We believe that this is how Africa will propel itself into a better future. I would like for Shoaib Zakari to bring in some insights.
So, as for what I would like to say, is that once this internal trade starts in Africa, not only will the population benefit from this, because now that we have borders between each country, we are paying taxes, and that tax kind of devaluates the money that we get in return. So if these borders were not there anymore, then the farmers that have been cultivating would have more profit from what they're getting, and also it also be cheaper for the people who buy the goods from other countries internally, like countries that manufacture, such as China, like in East Asia, China, Vietnam, Korea, and Thailand. Those countries are benefiting from what they're gaining, because they manufacture not only their raw materials that they have, but also materials that they cannot find in their own country. They are somehow manufacturing them and exporting them internally and gaining a substantial profit from it. So I think it would be a good idea for internal trade to be implemented in Africa.
Okay, so for our third intervention, we'll also come forth with a new argument saying that this will not only help us in the future, but this will be laying the groundwork for a domino effect. We all know that this is going to be extremely hard because there are several challenges that will be standing in adversity for us as Africans. However, in business and trade and the true entrepreneurial mindset is that adversity is our friend. We should embrace it and we should move on. As long as there is a problem, there's always going to be a solution. So the bigger the problem, we're going to have to come up with a greater solution. And a greater solution comes up with a greater lasting effect for the entire Africa. We believe that this will not only help us in becoming a bigger economic powerhouse, but it also facilitates the new groundwork for newer leaders, newer entrepreneurs to come into Africa, as in our diaspora should come back and also help Africa grow, which I see that it's already happening these days. Another thing is that this will also push more boundaries for us to open our borders, not only for trade, but also for free movement, because that is also an issue. We believe that this is not only going to be something that's going to help us now, but it's also going to be the groundwork for other bigger things that are going to be happening in the African continent. And believe it or not, with the amount of youth that we have and the new mindset, the new wave of interest that's been going on in the African community, I believe that this is a really good strategy and it's an extremely strong strategy. And we believe that this is what we need to move forward as human beings to reach our full potential. Another thing is that this will facilitate more jobs for the youth as well. So we will have more people being interested in staying within our continent as Africans, as we already see many people such as China and Europe are coming back into Africa because they believe that Africa is the future, especially for business. We want to make sure that us Africans also benefit 100% from this, if not at least 70% from this. We would like to make sure that us Africans build the grounding blocks for that. This will force us into much more challenges that will become a breaking point for Africans to start manufacturing our own goods, such as what Nana Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana, has said. This is a very big issue that is something people like Kwame Nkrumah and many big Pan-Africanists have been wondering and talking about for many decades. And I see that with the new free trade agreement in Africa that is becoming a dawn right now, I believe that we are finally able to try to start realizing this dream of ours. And instead of calling it a pipe dream anymore, we're going to be making it into a reality. And we believe that with what we're doing right now, such as this debate, it is definitely going to be helping us and propelling us into a better and brighter future. Say that a few words before.
So I would like to add.
Oh. Okay, fourth intervention. You can go.
So, okay, I would like to add more factual evidences to support my teammates' arguments. So, as Aisha Zakari was saying, it is, of course, a strong strategy for the development of Africa because, first of all, by taking those challenges, we we are being able to make the different countries from Africa united and to develop something between us. So, different from the international trade, internal trade made everything easier. So, as I was saying, it reduced the taxes. It's a it's like the trade is simplified. We have the government. We have the government having less interference, so we don't have that much problems. We also have a growth of economical goods, and we have no trading blocks, and we promote the self-reliance.
I would also like to add that, yes, we must concede that some of these challenges that I'm about to state will make things difficult, such as the difference in currency that we have, and also the difference in governments, such as, West Africa, we are all still using the CFA, and everybody has their own different organization going on. This will break this barrier, as how many people have already been trying to reiterate that we should have the same currency. And we believe that this internal trade will push us towards the brink of being fed up with having to have too many differences within Africa, and giving us more opportunities to strive for a bigger union. This free trade will also get Africans talking to each other more, which is what I believe is going to be good for us. I've seen that many Africans are very much a bit disconnected with each other, and I believe that this free trade will bring us closer to each other. So now I can start talking more to my brothers and sisters in Congo, start talking more to my brothers and sisters in Namibia. And this will also put forth much more amicability within our continent. Another thing I would like to say is there's an issue of the borders. So some people, anytime they pass through the borders to, like, let's say ECOWAS, if I were to trade with a country in, let's say Burkina Faso, I would have to pay tariffs even though it is against the law to do so. And this is something that is standing in the way of the success of this free trade. However, we believe that once more and more people start trading freely, we'll start talking more about this, and we will eliminate this issue. And with the coming youth, with the new mindset, we will make sure that these things come to an end. And also, governments may also make issues with these certain governments. However, we believe that the people united will come forth, and we will make sure that our governments agree with us as well, and make Africa better for the future, and also better for everybody. Shoaib, a few words?
What I would like to add to what Aisha Zakari said was that the South Africa and other countries like Morocco have lost their ground in development throughout from 1990 to 2014 due to not diversifying their goods. So, but countries like Rwanda, Senegal, and Sudan have gained the spotlight in these areas of diversifying their products. So if countries were to manufacture their own goods, were to bring stability between each other, because there has been stigma between different countries, even though being African, people still have internal problems with other countries not agreeing with them and their governments. So this will also be a key issue to internal trade in Africa. But also, one other thing that I would like to add is that while we trade together here in Africa, and I would like to say that we should close off our borders, not to stop trade internationally to other continents. I would like Africa to start trading in between itself and to bring more power to ourselves.
And with that said, when we are trading more within ourselves, this will push us to more challenges, and this will make us start manufacturing our own goods. As we already know, there are many African countries that aren't able to manufacture our own goods. These challenges will make people start manufacturing their own goods, such as Ghana is already doing with their cacao. And we can start going back out and selling internationally our finished products so that we will gain much more than what we are doing right now by selling our raw materials for other countries to manufacture and sell around the world. Okay, so for the sixth intervention, we would also like to highlight how this topic would have been something unimaginable and unfathomable back then in the past because of the lack of communication. However, as you can see today, I'm here talking to you on Zoom and speaking with you, speaking about this topic as the free trade. If we were able to do more internal trade within Africa, it's going to be much easier doing it now because we have many more telecommunications. It will also help us communicate further with each other, and it will also help us invest more in ourselves. Once we do that, and once we have the new wave of insight of people having much more pride in the products that we produce for ourselves, we're going to be able to consume more of our products. Now, today, if I want yam from Ghana, I will be able to do that if there's much more free trade, and it's going to be at a cheaper rate than to get yam in other places around the world. Same as rice. Rice in Senegal, I see that a lot of the rice from Senegal is being imported from Thailand. If we are able to start making our own rice fields and start trading with rice within ourselves, I believe that it would be much more cheaper for us to do so, and the money will stay in Africa. The income will stay in Africa, and Africa will grow. And as long as Africa grows and Africa wins, the rest of the world will win. I would also like to say that we have the chance, since we are a bit late in the economic world, to look and strategize and see the other countries, what they have been doing and what they've done in terms of development. And we can see and learn the mistakes that they have gone through so that we can make sure that it's much easier and for us to do so, and that we do not meet the same issues and problems that they're meeting today in today's world. With technology that is much more free and is traveling all around the world, especially in Africa, we believe that this internal trade will be more easily facilitated and will create more jobs and for Africans, and also create a bigger global scale of higher economy for the rest of the world. And as I said before, if Africa wins, the rest of the world wins. No matter who else is winning, the issue is that we need Africa to win as well. And this internal trade, as my teammates and I believe, is the building blocks and is a really great strategy for us to facilitate this dream and turn it into reality. Now, for the seventh intervention, I would like Sayeda Iqra to speak about some advantages.
Okay, so for some advantages of trade, of the internal trade, we have, like I was saying earlier, promote self-reliance, and methods of payment are easier. We have mobility of factors and large employment opportunities, and low land transport cost, excuse me, as I was saying earlier, and free mobility of factors of production.
As we can see that there have been some difficulties with with different economies in Africa being able to trade with each other because of the lack of connection of roads. And as I've watched a few days ago, Dangote was a bit skeptical about Aliko Dangote from Nigeria, a huge businessman, was a bit skeptical about this internal trade that people have been talking about so far, because it would make people lose a bit more when it's hard for businesses to transport their goods from different places to one another. And I want to counter this argument by saying that this this issue can be easily resolved by having us build our own roads more. As I would give the example of the United States of America back then, when they started doing more trade in within the United States, the North American Free Trade Agreement, they have had their economy be boosted 10 times more and actually been tripled, and their economy is working out very well, especially for the United States of America, and also for a poorer country such as Mexico, which is less in economic power compared to the United States. However, they are still thriving in some way. We believe that this will push us to make bigger roads. This will push us to connect better. And with more bridges and roads being connected within the African continent, we believe that this will help us preserve our friendship and also create newer friendship between the African countries and the African people. Should I have a few words?
Well, another thing I would like to say is sophistication. Without sophistication in today's world, everyone will, I would say, look down on you. So if Africa were to start sophisticating their goods, like Niger, for example, their uranium, which France has accounted nearly 40% of it for 50 years. 40% of Niger's uranium has been taken by France for 50 years now. So if Niger were to start trading and sophisticating them and meeting with the sophistication of today's world, we could possibly power West Africa with Niger's uranium. And also with the heat in Africa, I would like, in many countries, people suffer from this heat and other how do you say energy from the sun. So this could be used as solar energy, and this solar energy can be used as an intervention for a greener and more healthier energy. And also, this will be an internal trade that will happen between ourselves. We must commoditate ourselves with this internal trade, and we must agree on one subject.
I would also like to strongly put forth this argument of sophistication. As we all know, the river in Congo is powerful enough. If we are to sophisticate hydroelectric energy, it is strong enough to power the entire Africa. As big as it may seem, it is actually very, very sustainable for us, and we will be propelling ourselves into a greener and better world. And Africa will be leading that. We want Africa to be the leaders in that. And this can be best facilitated once we start having our borders opened for free trade, which will also facilitate having our borders eventually opened up for more free movement within the African continent, which means more of our geniuses will be able to talk to each other and create something big.
Yes, thank you very much for your interventions. This is a debate that is not done in a normal way, because intervention must be done alternatively. But unfortunately, Jules Sagna and players from Jules Sagna, they're always on their problems with their connection, because they're not hearing us at all. So they're always trying to fix it. Now I think we are going to give the floor to the jury president to give his impression.
Thank you, Iqra.
Jules, are they online? Okay, so I'm going to back on that. Jules
I,
and players, Jules, Sagna, they are online. Okay, we're not seeing them. Yeah.
will.
Okay, fortunately, they're online.
Okay.
It seems that the problem is solved. Okay, so the thing is that Iqra Bilingual Academy, they already they've done with their arguments. I mean the introduction of 5 minutes and their argument, they had the argument of 10 minutes and their conclusion too. So you're going to do the same with your 7 arguments, right? While you were not hearing me. So what I said, I've said that you have 7 intervention of 7 intervention, which is divided as followed. You have 5 minutes for your introduction, 5 arguments of 3 minutes, and 1 conclusion of 5 minutes. So if the time is up, you they're gonna be, or there's going to be, yes, a timekeeper on your on the laptop of your, on the screen of your laptop, and if the time is up, don't go beyond, right? Are you hearing me?
Okay.
Yeah, so if your time is up, don't go beyond, right? Because it can be a source of penalty from the jury. So you have the floor for your 7 intervention, and don't wait for me to give you the floor. Just look at the screen, or look at your screen, and just yes, go with your 7 intervention. You have the floor.
I will want. I go at the name of Elijah Falia, student at Designer High School. I'm in premier. So today we are going to talk about a question, and we are going to answer the question. What is the question? Is internal trade a strong strategy for the development of Africa? I think that no. Do you want to know why? Before starting the subject, I just would like to compartmentalize the subject, to compartmentalize the topic, to remind the keywords. We cannot talk about the keywords without talking the internal trade. Those who don't know, what is internal trade means, it means commerce trade. And those who don't know what is commerce trade means, it means home trade. Internal trade refers to the trade that takes place within the geographical boundaries of a country, but not a continent. I give the floor to my teammate.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. My name is Mbaimbu. I'm at Zusanya High School. I'm very glad and proud also to represent my class, my school here. So as had said my friend Mr. Faluyab, so first of all, we have the problem of currency. African countries don't have the same currency. It's the first problem. And the currency is a capital, the difference of currency, the difference between currency is a capital problems. You understand? And secondly, have you not seen enterprises, French companies in Senegal? It just means it's not possible. Africa can't be developed without international funds. It's not possible. So let's focus. If you remind to your first geographic lesson of geographic, it was about globalization. So today we talk about globalization. It's not possible. Each country, any country can go, any continent can go without the others. It's not possible. So that was my what?
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The name of the jury, the name is Amika Refat. Student in Sagna High School, the Pacific Form. So today we are going to answer the question means is internal trade a strong, how can I say, a strong strategy for African development? So I say no. Why? Because Africans, how can I say, Africans don't sell the price of their products to the world market. Why? How can I say? Most of the times, uh, most of the times, our products are not competitive, too much taxes to pay. That's my opinion.
Currency is the most important impact on economy. How it is possible without the same currency? It would be possible when the topic dealt, if the topic dealt about America, that is, they have the same currency with the dollars. And here in Africa, we don't have the same currency, of course. So it can't be possible. I'm sorry.
So what I have to add is in Africa there is not solidarity. You understand? So peoples don't help each other. So saying that internal trade either Africa can be developed, but no, by the way of internal trade, it's not possible. It's not possible. I'm sorry. So and today we talk about as I said, globalization. Any country can go without the others. It's not possible. Um, the French or America, they are more rich than us, but they can't.
Okay, let me take. So, example, if you take the example like, if you take the example like the development inequality, and if a continent wants to develop itself, its country its country should develop its country itself without thinking the others, without thinking the development of Africa.
So what I have to add is let's imagine if Europeans or Americans put out their hands in Africa development, Africa will be left behind forcibly. By force, Africa will be left behind. We can't go without them. It's not possible. Yes.
Okay, say from Jules Sagna. If you're done before the end of your time, just keep on with the next intervention, right?
Good.
Say from
It
Jules
would be
Sagna. Have you?
possible if the topic dealt with a country. But no, it is not a country. We are going to talk about a continent. How it is, how is it possible without the same currency? And here in Africa, we don't have the same currency. And for that be possible, we should have the same currency. And I think that it never be possible like this.
And also we don't have a self-sufficiency, and we export more than we import. We import more than we export. So it just means so we product our production is very less. Depends on them to be developed, to develop our country. But being here and saying internal trade is a strong strategy, I don't think so. I'm sorry, but it's not possible. By all these all these causes, it's not possible. Yeah.
Okay, so as my brother said, if you look your first level in geography, we talk about the globalization of Africa. Okay, for this we can say that it's not possible for African development without how can I say uh, internal trade. It can be possible because firstly, Africa is very poor. As they haven't the same object. Reason why it will be difficult for them to develop our cultural um, real how can I say internal trade.
Um, if you say some companies in Senegal like Osan and Total, they belongs to Europe. You understand? So imagine if we we eliminate these companies in Senegal. Imagine what be happened here. Understand? And we in Africa, the ruler of the power are very interested by the power, but not the people. So we need absolutely, without doubt, the help of Europe, the help of other country. We can't develop our country with us only. It's not possible. Yeah.
I think that these cannot be possible. Why? Because here in Africa, if you want to operate something, we need the help of the other continent. I mean, Europe, America, and Asia, and others. So, how it is possible with that? How is it possible if we cannot product what we have here in Africa? And we don't have nothing, I think. We don't have anything.
So in Senegal, we have raw materials and natural resources, and we let Europeans uh, bringing them to Europe. And you imagine, and if we talk, if we take, and we are dominated by Europeans. Understand? Uh, since the slavery, we was dominated by Europeans, and they took they bring all our raw materials, natural resources, and we must turn down to go to them to ask something to eat or to ask help. We can't go without them. It's absolutely impossible. We can't go without them. If we stay in here in our country and staying and trying to develop with the internal trade to develop Africa, we will all die. It's not possible. We must depend on Europe. We must depend on other country to develop our Africa. Yeah.
For this to be possible, we should grow what we need and need what we grow. And we should eat what we grow on and eat what we grow. And about that, I think that it is not possible. And we don't grow. We don't grow what we eat, and we don't eat what we grow. So I think that the help of others continent is an obligation for us to develop. We cannot develop us. We cannot develop ourselves without the help of other continents. It is not possible. So
Okay, so it is true that internal trade is a strategy for the development. Yes, but not in Africa. It's not possible in Africa because each kind of how can I say countries in Africa don't have the same strategy. No, reason why will be not possible to develop with internal trade.
The lack of management due to the lack of foreign funds. And if foreigners put out their hands in Africa, we would have lag behind. So I think that this development cannot be possible without the help of others continent.
And the other and the other things that I have to add is if you look all our big buildings or all our biggest enterprises were built by Europeans or by Chinese. So and it just means we need foreigners in our development. We need their funds. We need their help. We can stay here saying internet trade can be a strong strategy for the development of Africa. No, if you say our roads, all the most interesting here in our country are built by Chinese or by Europeans, but not by us. So that internet trade is not the way. The development of Africa may happen, but not by internet trade. Yeah.
You can go for your conclusion.
So to conclude, we need the Europeans' help, and we need the other country to help. Those who are very powerful, they need our help. So they are very rich and prosperous, but they need our help, and we need them help. We can go without the other. It's not possible. And Africa need the others to develop. Africa need foreigners for funds and for buildings and for other things very important. Sorry. Yeah.
For summarizing this matter topic, I think that we all know that it is not possible to develop this country without the help of the other country, without the help of America's continent or European continent. So this topic is very important for us, for Africa's people, to know that our development depends to foreigners. Our development, it depends to foreigners. It depends also to foreigners' funds. Of course, because we don't have a lot of funds, we don't have something who can who can uh, who can operate us to make us better.
So that's it. So I decided we say that internal trade is not a good way for African development. No, no, and no. So African is one of countries who is very poor. Okay, globally, it will be difficult for them to develop with internal trade.
To conclude, we have enumerated different courses that that cause that internal trade is not a solution. We have enumerated the lack of the difference between currencies, and also uh, we we don't talk the same language. It's also very important, and also we are very poor. Africa is underdeveloped, and it's not possible with, as I said, the globalization to go without the others. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both things. So since we're running out of time, we are just going to jump straight with I'm sorry, there's no second much, I forgot that. So I need to precise that normally we were to host 4 schools, but unfortunately Galil High School, they gave up at the very last minute. So but we will be listening to Marif High School. There's an intervention too, and they will be given a grade by the jury members. So thank you both team. I mean Jules, Sagna, and Iqra, Bilingual Academy. You did great. So let's jump straight on the second, not much, but the 7 arguments of the next.
L'Afrique, terre d'opportunités.
Moi, je suis ravie de voir de belles initiatives comme ça qui accompagnent et incitent la jeunesse africaine à bouger, parce qu'effectivement, aujourd'hui, rien ne se fera si on ne bouge pas nous-mêmes. Aujourd'hui, je pense qu'on est capable de faire de belles...
On a compris que la richesse aujourd'hui, elle se trouve en Afrique.
L'Afrique reste le continent de demain, reste un continent où il y a un développement économique quand même à 2 chiffres.
C'est mon destin. Et j'espère que tout Africain qui se trouve ici pense la même chose de son pays.
C'est très important lorsqu'on parle de développement. On ne peut pas aujourd'hui concevoir le développement de l'Afrique sans une unité des Africains.
Qui dit aucun de nous, en agissant seul, ne peut atteindre le succès. Donc agissons ensemble. Nous avons un fort potentiel que nous pouvons apporter à la jeunesse africaine, au développement de l'Afrique en général.
On est tous un secret. C'est presque une évidence. La jeunesse est une valeur. Elle est l'alpha et l'oméga du développement.